Hello and welcome to the Teach Music 21C podcast series. I'm Merlin Thompson, the creator and founder of Teach Music 21C, a professional development program for music studio teachers where we believe the best way to create musical success is for teachers and students to build it together. And I'm joined today by Yvonne Fagnan, and I'm going to let Yvonne tell you a little bit about who she is.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. Yes, I'm Yvonne Fagnan. I'm a mother of 5 and a grandmother of 12. And I became a widow at a young age of 58. And music has been in my family from generation to generation. So I own my own business in the financial industry. And I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much, Yvonne, for joining us. And it's great to have you here and to have your experience as now, well, you've had the experience as a parent and now as a grandparent. And I'm always curious to ask people like you who have been involved with music for your own children and now for your grandchildren. I'm curious about what advice would you give today's music educators, given your experience with all these lessons that you've attended, your children and your grandchildren moving through musical processes? What advice do you have for today's music teachers?
Well, I'm telling you, the advice I would give today, because life has changed, we need patience. We need to work with each individual child because each child is different. They're all raised differently. And I think it's extremely important to listen to them and to know what they want. Sometimes that's not always easy. But on our part, as the adult, as the mother, grandmother, we just need to listen to them. I believe that we shouldn't rush them because I've done all the bad things. And rushing is never good. It causes anxieties. So today, Merlin, I really believe that we need to be patient.
Yeah.
We need to be patient and listen and work with them because they are smarter than we think.
Sure. So it's really about children's, autonomy, their
Yeah.
independence, their ability to think for themselves, and creating those spaces where children feel safe,
Yes.
but yet not just safe and passive, but
Yeah.
safe and ready to take part and to be active in the process of learning to play a musical instrument or learning to sing. And it's changed. You mentioned times have changed, and that's a
Oh,
big thing for me
so
as
much.
well. The times have changed. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I'm 71. All of my children have taken piano lessons. They've taken my only daughter took voice lessons. And back then in those days, my children are all over 40 now, except one. Um, in those days, it was different. We just told them what to do and they had to do it. Was it the best thing? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But having gone through life and looking at my children now, they're all okay. They all survived.
Sure.
um, but today I find children have more power. They know more. It's unbelievable how they will have conversations with you as a 4-year-old that I would have never thought of having as a
Right.
child. So it's just different. The life has changed. The iPads, the information, the how children are raised in a home. Sometimes they're broken homes. Sometimes they're homes with 2 parents working. It's just different.
Yeah.
And kids learn outside stuff now.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying it's different. We have to treat them differently.
Yeah. And the whole learning to play a musical instrument or sing is such a great place to learn about life too. And
Totally.
maybe that's something that you could talk about. What kind of life
Yeah.
lessons do you think have come about for your children or maybe for yourself
Yeah.
in being involved in that music education
Yeah.
environment?
Yeah. Well, you know what, Merlin? First of all, I've always wanted to learn to play the piano. But I'm from a family of 14. So there
Sure.
was a piano in our home. Okay.
Right.
My twin sisters got to take lessons. But then as a child arrived every 13 months, the piano was gone. Right.
Yeah.
So it's always something I wanted. So when I had my first child, I said to my husband, I said, our children are going to learn music. Okay. So for example, my oldest child is 49 now. he plays the guitar at his church, right?
Nice.
So what I've given him in his life is that. My second son had a special needs son who couldn't see, was in a wheelchair, cerebral palsy, lacked oxygen at birth. And oh my God, my little Simon loved music. So Andre, my son, played for him every day. And
Amazing.
that's what made him laugh. So
Yeah.
that gives me goosebumps to think about that.
Yeah.
And my third son, David, what he plays, his son, I taught his son who's 13, but now he's learning on his own because he has an app. So that brought that in. I mean, my daughter, I mean, she played for her nephew every day too, and she became an opera singer, and that music came into our home. My last son, well, you know, he was born 10 years after the others, was not expected. I was 40. I kind of lost patience, so he just played hockey. So, but you know, he still heard the music in our home. I think music is. Oh, there's one thing I have to say. My oldest son, who played baseball in the States, an unbelievable shortstop, the coach looked at him and he says, "Do you play piano?" Of course, Mark was embarrassed to say it. He says, "Yeah." He says, "Well," he says, "that's why you got soft hands."
Interesting.
I go, "Wow," because the coach says, "I cannot teach soft hands." He was a shortstop, so he related that to music. I mean, how powerful is that?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and so it's interesting to hear how the music involved in your kids' childhood, how that translated into their adulthood, and in ways that, you know, we could never anticipate. We can't say that, oh, because Mark took piano lessons, he's going to end up playing guitar in church, you know, 20 years later. So we can never see the future there. So, you know, I guess
beautiful.
for parents these days, looking into the future can be a real challenge because we can't see what music is going to bring. And part of one of the things that Teach Music 21C really revolves around is this whole idea of what will students be doing 20 years from now because they're having music lessons today. And that's such a powerful thing because it tells us that we can sow the seeds for what's going on in the future, for what will happen in the future by what we do today. And I'll go back to your opening statement about being patient and making sure things match the student who's in the room.
Yes, because, you know, I have a grandson who's got ADHD. So we have to treat him differently.
Yeah.
I can't treat him the same as the other 11 grandchildren. So it's the same thing with music or anything we teach them, sports, right? Today we need more patience because there's lots going on in families, lots going on in children's minds, you know, the school. So, and I think music is good for the soul. I really do. I'm grateful that my mother sang to us all the time.
Sure.
Maybe we never learned how to play piano, but she sang, you know. And, you know, we're a very close family. Is it all because of music? No, but music is good. It's good. It's good for the soul.
Yeah, and it's not the only thing that's going on in people's lives too, is something we have to keep in mind. And but there is something unique about what music can do. Because we can connect to so many things. We can connect to joy, we connect to celebration, but we can connect to grief, and you know, those kinds of things. Music can pull us out of places that we get stuck in. It can do that for us. So this, you know, other things can do that too, but music and music making and sharing that with others, doing it for ourselves, all of these things are really powerful.
I mean, I've learned how to play piano through my children's lessons.
For sure.
I learned to play hands together, and now I direct singing at church, and I can play the hymns, you know. So I mean, it all connected for me. Everything connected. It's just it's just beautiful. I mean, I'm so grateful that I was given that opportunity and the choices my husband and I made. Sports is great. They're all in sports, but music, you can't argue that.
Yeah. So what was that like for you as a parent to make choices for your children? You know, this is something that comes up all the time for me. How do parents decide, are we going to have activities in our children's lives, or maybe are we going to have investments in our children's lives? Is that something you could talk about a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we never overloaded our children with 10 sports.
Sure.
Okay. It was hockey in the winter, baseball in the summer, music year round.
Right.
Right. Today, I feel that kids are overwhelmed with too much.
Yeah.
It's my opinion. I see it. So, I mean, music had to be there. Now, during the summer, they took music classes. But if I felt my children were needed rest, they needed time out.
Yeah.
I had to make a different decision. I had to let them play outside, climb trees,
Right.
whatever. Children
Right.
need that.
Yeah.
They really need to have time out, because always give them something to do, keep them active. That's not good either.
Yeah.
We have to just let them be.
Yeah.
And that's what I teach my children with their children. Let Jackson run. Let him run as far as he wants, let him
Yeah.
be free, because life is hard. So as a child, they need to have fun. They need just to be.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I reflect a lot now on my life, of where I'm at. Life is great, and our children are our future.
Sure.
So if we overwhelm them, if we nag them, if we push them, I mean, I pull my kids from under the bed to practice piano, Like I said, they all turned out okay.
Right.
But, so whatever. I can go on forever. But I'm just telling the parents, ease up.
Yeah.
Ease up. They're young. They will learn at their own time.
For sure.
Because they like to plunk on the piano. Let them plunk. I let my 2-year-old grandson and 4-year-old granddaughter just plunk. Sometimes I said, well, let's play peanut butter sandwich or whatever, right? No, I just want to do this. Do this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then they always go to the piano, right? But if they see I'm behind them, they walk away.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
It's true. Now, and then I go back of when I sat with my 4 children at the piano, and now I can just visualize how tense they were. Because I was just like, you got to practice. You got to do this 10 times. You do it 20 times,
Right.
I mean, I've changed. So today I'm telling, music teachers that are just starting, and parents, ease up. Life's too short.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Have fun. That's a great place for us to wrap this up, Yvonne, today. And it's been so great to talk to you. We'd love to have you come back again to visit us on the Teach Music 21C podcast series. What have we talked through? Well, we talked about having patience. We went through the activity investment place, and we went to ease up, make space, create space for children just to be themselves without any activity or investment at all. So I'm really grateful for you to come in today and share this message with us. Thanks so much for being with us, Yvonne.
It was my pleasure, Merlin, and thank you for teaching my children. That was awesome.
That was a pleasure too. Absolutely.
It was a great journey.
Yeah, we had a great journey together for sure. So to everybody out there who's been watching today, I'm Merlin Thompson. This has been the Teach Music 21C podcast series. I've been joined today by Yvonne Fagnan, parent, grandmother, lots of music activities happening in her household over many years. Thanks everybody for joining in, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.